Yo, what is going on, everybody? My name is SirJBGaming, and welcome back to another trophy video. A couple weeks ago, I uploaded a video talking about my top 10 easiest platinum trophies that I have achieved. Closing in on 100 platinum trophies, I thought it would be a cool video to see some of the easiest games that helped me get to where I am. I also mentioned in that video that if it did well, I would talk about the top 10 hardest platinum trophies that I have achieved. And well, you guys have crushed it with the support as you have on any trophy-based video. So that means we are going to dive into the 10 hardest platinum trophies that I have achieved thus far. But before we get into that, I want to talk about some things that will factor into this list. First things first, I am still using PSN profiles to come up with this list. PSN profiles takes the trophy information from PlayStation users and calculates certain statistics such as the competition ratio between users and achievers. This is huge to know for this video because most of these games in this list stem from one franchise. Although they seemed easy at the time, some of them were truly difficult. Whether that be because it's online or it was based off of luck, each game on this list willingly deserves its spot just like the last video. Also, there will be some honorable mentions. There are only two that I'm going to put in this list for their own reasons. Starting with Fall Guys. This game only had 35 trophies and is pretty straightforward. So what made it so hard? It all stems from one trophy. Infallible, or infallible, however you say that. For this trophy, you had to win first place 5 times in a row. Winning in Fall Guys is hard enough, going through 3 to 4 rounds and beating out literally everybody else. It is the true definition of a battle royale game. This trophy was easy to obtain due to the LTMs that were team-based, but I'd be remorsed if I didn't talk about this game being so hard considering all of the hours I streamed just to get this one trophy. The second honorable mention would be Brawlhalla. Although the game looks fun and only has 40 base trophies, it was a pain to platinum. Not so much on the difficulty factor, but the time factor. If it weren't possible to get all these trophies by boosting with a second controller or second account, I would have never gotten this game done. Mainly getting 100,000 coins because you barely get coins for winning matches. I vaguely remember for 2 months just setting the game to private, joining on my PC, and allowing my console to just win in 10-minute matches. So much time was wasted for a simple platinum trophy, but I still take it as an accomplishment to have this one. Alright, now let's get into the real list of hardest platinum trophies I have achieved. Coming in at number 10 is Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2. Those who have been on the channel long enough already know this game was going to be included. Surprisingly, at number 10 though, it all stems from 4 trophies that only under 1% of players were able to unlock. Going to the Vet for doing all veteran challenges, Legendary for doing all the legend challenges, Gap Master, which was physically the hardest trophy for me, and reaching level 100. The challenges just took multiple reps, whereas the level 100 once again came down to a lengthy grind and just became mind-numbing. Once it was achieved, I immediately uninstalled the game and vowed that the only skateboard game I'd play will be from the Skate series. At number 9, we have the first of many from the series, Call of Duty Ghost. This game has 51 base trophies, 50 in total to get the platinum, and if you know anything about this game, then you think the hardest trophies for this game would come from Extinction, which was this COD's version of zombies. Well, you'd honestly be wrong to think that. Only 4 trophies were achieved by less than 1% of players. Burn Baby Burn was a trophy where it was just a matter of finding 80 fuel containers and destroying them. Might not seem hard, but it was difficult to find some of these. Piece of Cake requires you to complete a mission where you kill everyone and not take damage on veteran difficulty. If you've played any of the early CODs on veteran, you know that this is almost impossible as is. Jackpot is similar to Burn Baby Burn, where you have to find a bunch of map related things and destroy them. Again, just tricky to find them all. With the hardest trophy on the list being They Look Like Ants, which requires you to destroy all ground targets and kill no enemies. Seems simple enough. Oh, I forgot to mention, if you fail this trophy in the mission, you have to restart the entire mission, which doesn't sound bad until you realize that the place you obtained the trophy in the mission is at the end. Now, this wasn't the hardest COD to platinum, not by a long shot. However, it still did have its own challenges. Number 8 is another Call of Duty game, Black Ops Cold War. Arguably one of my favorite modern COD games. I know that's a hot topic, so we'll leave it at that. From a trophy aspect, this game had 45 trophies, and 3 of these trophies only 0.5% of players have completed. 2 of these stem from zombies, while 1 of these surprisingly came from the campaign. Craft work sounds simple. Craft 14 different types of items in a zombies match. What you don't don't know is you have to be level 54 and not prestige. If you try doing this trophy after prestiging, then you're out of luck because most stuff lock again. Oh, in total, you also need 3,450 green scrap and 750 blue scrap. And if you've played this game, then you know that takes a long time to gather. Scorched Earth 2 can be found in the campaign mission The Final Countdown and requires you to blow up all the trucks and guard towers at the beginning of the mission. The reason this was hard because you drive so quickly in this game, so it was easy to miss a truck. You could cheat this by simply restarting missions and trying again and again. Hardest trophy to achieve in this game is Reunited with Fidelina. With only 0.1% of players achieving this, it was the hardest zombies trophy I have ever gone for. Basically, you have to beat Dead Ops Arcade 3. So you must go through a total of 65 rounds, with each 5 rounds having a painful underboss and then beating the big boss. Yeah, this trophy took a while to get, and once I got it, I never went back to Dead Ops Arcade, which sucks because I actually enjoyed the concept until this Dead Ops game came out, which makes me never want to play this game mode ever again. At number 7, we have GTA 5, specifically the PS3 version. Even though the PS4 and PS5 versions have the same trophies, the PS3 version deserves the spot because most trophies popped on the new gen versions. And yes, before anybody asks, I do have it on all 3 versions. Looking at what trophies made it difficult, there were only 3. 2 of them tie into one, so let's talk about those 2 first. Close Shave had you do every under the bridge and knife flight challenges. Sounds easy at first until you realize that some of these you had to get perfectly. Since you had to do these in campaign, if you missed and crashed your plane, it took forever to get another one and retry. So more of a timing trophy than anything. The other one is for earning 70 gold medals on missions, strangers, and freaks. Considering that there are 116 instances you can get these, that seems pretty reasonable until you look at all the challenges and see most missions are a pain to obtain gold in. There definitely were a few that were easy, but not enough to finish up the trophy. So after hours of deciding which missions would be the easier ones, it just comes down to executing the gold medal. Those 2 lead to the last one, which is the hardest trophy on this list to do, to 100% the game. You will get most of this done by naturally playing, but a good chunk you still have to really go up and find and master certain things. In total, this takes about 200 hours. Somehow, if you haven't got this platinum out of the 3 versions that have been released, you're honestly kind of missing out. Number 6 on the list, we return back to the Call of Duty franchise with World War II. With 51 base trophies, this COD was a roller coaster. Most trophies were pretty easy, especially the veteran campaign, because this COD introduced stims, which, if you don't know, heal you. What made this platinum trophy hard was mainly the zombie trophies. I don't know why, but the zombies in this game was just a different breed of difficult. As a matter of fact, I've done every single Easter egg in COD Zombies, except for all the DLC maps in this game. With that said, one of the hardest was Dark Reunion, which was basically you have to do the Easter egg, but on a harder difficulty. Like I said, the zombies mode was hard enough that they even added a harder mode for the Easter egg. Then there was Red Mist, which is to get 10 kills from a single bomb zombie explosion. This was just one of those tedious things that you had to do where the zombies were annoying to train up, and then you had to get 10 kills, which was a challenge in itself. There were a few hard campaign trophies such as Gasoline Cowboy, which had you rescue a character while keeping your armor above 80%. Another one, Defender, which has you protecting a convoy by shooting down all the planes. I vaguely remember this one only because the planes traveled in packs and you have a limited time to shoot them down. All in all, it was a unique COD, and I actually went back a few years ago and played it, and to be honest, I kind of miss it. You know what I don't miss? The number 5 game on this list, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. Arguably one of the worst CODs next to Advanced Warfare. In my opinion, the only thing that made this game fun was the Zombies mode, which is ironic because those were the hardest trophies to obtain. Mainly because at the time, this was one of the hardest Easter eggs, so that trophy, Soul Key, was a tough one. Even harder than that was Off the Charts, which you could only get after beating the Easter egg and obtaining a couple of other things. Then for the campaign, the hardest 2, which less than 0.2% of players achieved, Fully Equipped and Gun Nut, which requires you to scan all weapons and equipment upgrades. Yes, that just took time in certain missions, so if you're patient, it gets a little bit easier. So is it just me, or are you tired of hearing Call of Duty be on this list? It kind of is ridiculous, right? Well, anyway, coming in at number 4, respectfully, is Call of Duty Black Ops 2. One of the best Call of Duty games of all time regarding multiplayer and zombies. However, if you're a trophy hunter, you already know how difficult this game was because of one trophy. Yeah, this game is this high up in the list all because of one trophy, giant accomplishment. Complete all challenges in Black Ops 2. Now you might be asking yourself, well, how hard can these challenges be? Well, there are 10 in each mission, with a total of 160 challenges. And these challenges range from getting kills with certain weapons, doing certain tasks in a mission, and oh yeah, not dying. So if you die on a mission, you restart. Yeah, Each mission would take 2 to 4 runs, so a pretty tedious trophy here. The zombies trophies I could make an argument for, but that one trophy is still light years ahead of being the hardest. A fitting game for number 3 on this list, Call of Duty Black Ops 3. With only 48 base trophies, this game wasn't as hard as you think. Most of the trophies are pretty straightforward and easy to achieve. Zombie trophies are always going to be the hardest in any Call of Duty game, but one campaign trophy takes the cake for this. For the first time, we had a trophy for beating the game on realistic difficulty, called No One Will Believe You. If you thought Veteran was hard, you clearly haven't played realistic mode. Since this one was one of the last futuristic CODs, the movement system was familiar, but a lot of the mechanics were not so familiar. Oh, and the enemies will always lob grenades. Your team barely is there to help you, and there are just so many other inconvenient things with this campaign. Number 2 on this list is only here because it was super hard work and is now physically impossible to obtain. That game being Friday the 13th. One of the most tedious platinum trophies to ever go for. Nothing in this game was truly difficult, but the numbers on these trophies were just ridiculous. Like to get 1,313 kills on counselors when there are only 5 per game, and that's if you got all 5. Also to play 1,000 matches as Jason and 1,000 matches as the counselor. Hell, I'll even throw in a PhD in murder, which is to get every kind of kill in the game. Now, there are 2 ways you can go about getting this platinum. You could go into lobbies and just leave it to luck, or you could grab a friend who wants to get the same platinum and farm these in private lobbies. Now, just because I say that doesn't mean it's any easier. It says it might take up to 200 hours, but I can confirm right now it takes way longer. I remember going for this with me and my buddy, and we wrote down on paper how many matches we each played as both counselors and Jason. By the end of this, the paper was covered front to back. A lot of fun memories in this game. However, I do wish this game didn't go offline. Playing this game with my community during the COVID era will be a core memory that I will always cherish. Alright, enough of the sappy stuff. It's time for the hardest platinum trophy that I've obtained. If you made it this far in the video, drop a like and comment what kind of trophy videos you want to see in the future. With that being said, number 1, we have Call of Duty Black Ops 4. Full disclosure, this game has 8 trophies that only 0.1% of players have achieved. And actually, when recording this video, I went to go check on Twitch to see if anyone was playing this game for trophies, and there are still people trying to get this game done. 6 of these 8 trophies pertain to zombies, the hardest one being Prestigious Award, which can be attained by max leveling 25 different weapons and zombies. Mainly just a time tedious trophy, but still one of the longest and hardest trophies to obtain. But the main 2 that will make you want to pull your hair out would be Zombie Fanatic and Blackout Historian. Both of these trophies, you had to unlock certain characters in Blackout, which was the Battle Royale game in Black Ops 4. All of these were challenging in themselves, but the one that caused me the most struggle, and the one I still see people struggle with today, is Reznov, which requires you to find the Ushanka hat, which can only be found in 2 locations, down an enemy from at least 200 meters away, and then mop them up, aka BM them, and then finish the game in the top 5. Yeah, all for a skin. Safe to say, when I did this, I either got really lucky or I had just played this game enough times where I actually got good at the game. Regardless, this one took me months to achieve. And since then, I've only played Blackout 1 time, which was a video on my channel. I'm not saying you should watch it, but maybe after this video you should go check it out. Anyways guys, that is it for the 10 hardest platinum trophies that I have achieved. Maybe when I get close to 200, I'll do another list and compare it to this one. If you want to see more trophy content, whether it's a commentary video like this or a video where I show my playthrough from start to finish, then consider hitting that subscribe button for me. Also, don't forget to like the video and comment down below what your hardest platinum trophy grind was. I'd love to hear about it. Anyways, I love you guys so much. Until the next time, you guys know me. It's been your boy SirJB. Get at me.